Hello, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is Times Now Live and I'm Hina Gambhir. Viewers, when we pay for a service, we expect it to be comfortable. And when we are paying to travel, we expect at least the seat allotted to us won't be broken. But that wasn't the case with Union Agriculture Minister Shivraj Singh Chouhan. He had an uncomfortable journey on Air India flight. He has put out a long post on social media platform X narrating his ordeal. He has even asked, is this not cheating the passengers? Let's explain to you what Shivraj Singh Chouhan has said. In fact, he has said that he was travelling from Bhopal to Delhi and seat 8C was allotted to him in AI 436 flight and his seat, in fact, was broken. He says it is unethical to give broken seats and take full amount. Because of this reason that I'm now going to reveal to our viewers. Now, when Shivraj Singh Chouhan reached out to the crew members there after he found that his seat was broken, the staff apparently told him that the management was aware of, in fact, the broken seats, and they had told the management also that these seats should not be sold. Now, despite concern that was raised by the staff, broken seats were being sold, and this broken seat was also sold. So according to the information that Shivraj Singh Chouhan had put out, the information already was with the management, and yet this broken seat was sold to the passenger. It was Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the union minister. That's why this news came out and it's become a big news. Had it been anybody else, you, me, any other viewer, would the Ministry of Civil Aviation taken action in a way they are taking in this particular case? That's the question we are asking. But before we go to that, let's also tell you what else Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan has written. He has asked, isn't this cheating the passengers? You're taking full amount. Already airfares are quite high. And what you're giving in return? Broken seats. No improvement in Air India under Tata's. He says that he expected things to get better for Air India, the Maharaja, after it was sold to the Tatas. But it seems that was a misconception. He is asking, will airline take steps to reduce the inconvenience to the passengers? And he made a very important point, viewers, in his post. He says that I did not change my seat. I stayed in that particular chair only. He, traveled from Bhopal to Delhi sitting on a broken seat only. But he is trying to raise the concern for millions of passengers who travel by air on a daily basis. And that's the reason why he says that he has put out this post as well. He's also asked, will airline continue to take advantage of people's compulsion? Now, these are some very important points that Shivraj Singh Chouhan, in fact, has raised. Now, Air India has issued a statement too, expressing deep regret for the inconvenience. Air India says this does not reflect the standard of the service the airline wants to give to its passengers. Airline here, in this case, Air India, has said that it is going to conduct a thorough investigation as well, and will ensure that something like this, something that happened with Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan, is not repeated. And meanwhile, now we are getting more inputs in this story. We have learned that Union Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu has also spoken to Union Agriculture Minister Shivraj Singh Chouhan regarding his uncomfortable flight experience with Air India. And he has assured him of prompt action. DGCA has also been directed to examine the matter and suggest corrective measures immediately, so that something that happened with the union minister that is still happening with a lot of passengers goes unnoticed, goes unheard, does not happen anymore. For more on this, let me straight away go across to my colleague Nikhil, who is joining us live right now. Nikhil, prompt steps being taken by the minister, by the ministry. DGCA has been involved as well. I wish something like this would have happened if a normal passenger, would have complained like this, because we go through something like this on a regular basis. But for the benefit of our viewers, bring us up to speed with what is happening in this case so far from the ministry side.
So, Hira, as you have rightly mentioned, many of the passengers on a daily basis, they usually go through this kind of ordeal. They take it to the social media platform as well, but seldom they do see any of the reaction or the action so far from the side of either the ministry or the airline for that matter. Now, because the significant man, that is Shivraj Singh Chouhan, Union Minister, he put out a tweet reciting his ordeal. This is the reason as to why the Air India and the Ministry as well, they came to the swift action. Initially, as per the details, as soon as the tweet was shared by Union Agriculture Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, the ministry also directed the Air India CEO, Campbell Wilson, to take the matter on the top priority, and they have suggested the action as well in this particular regard. Apart from it, what we are learning is that there is parallel inquiry, and the report as well has been sought from the side of the DGCA, which is the Civil Aviation Watchdog. They have asked Air India to file a detailed report on this particular incident. Apart from it, we are hearing that Minister of Civil Aviation Ram Mohan Naidu, he has personally called Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and he has assured that the action will be taken, and there is already a thorough inquiry which has been on the direction for the same has already been given out from the side of the ministry.
Thank you, Nikhil, for the moment, for joining us and getting us all those details. And viewers, it's a show for you, it's a platform for you. Numbers are flashing at the bottom of your screens. Tell us if you've also faced this kind of an experience, because here a minister was involved, and see how swiftly action is now being taken. We want things to improve, and that's why we're raising this issue. We're joined by a few of our viewers already on the broadcast. Nagarajan is live with us from Bengaluru. Good afternoon. Thank you for speaking with us. You're on Times Now. What is it that you would like to say?
Yeah. I would like to say that it is very, very unfortunate that such things are continuing to happen in Air India. Air India was a model airline when JRD Tata was there. And I heard, I'm 87, 88 years old, and I heard from my brother-in-law, who was the director for planning in international, is Mr. R. Vegetraman. He opened several Geneva those days in 50s and 60s. He used to say, JRD Tata used to come suddenly into the aircraft, and the top light will be there when the cutlery should be shining. It should be sparkling.
Yes.
Such a JRD Tata, such a stickler to everything should be spick and span. It's very, very sad such things are happening to Air India. Maharaja service was very, very, very highly respected way back.
Interesting points you're raising, Mr. Nagarajan, because I remember when, Air India went back to the Tata Group, we all felt that the glorious, good old days are going to come back. But unfortunately, we're not really seeing that happening up in the air, at least right now. But thank you for calling us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. We have Shanti Swaroop, who has called us from Vijayawada. Thank you for calling us here on Times Now. What is it that you would like to say?
That program is going on, compromise is going on. Many people are coming and going to, but only with transport only. Every minute is important for aircraft and transport, every transport. So make convenient to the both Tata Airlines and our airlines. We have request to maintain very good conditions. We are expecting good traveling, good safety traveling. Thank you very much. All
right, Shanti Swaroop, thank you for speaking with us here on Times Now. Shweta is joining us from Mumbai as well. Thank you for calling us here on Times Now. What is it that you would like to tell us, Shweta? Did you also have this kind of an experience? Okay, we've lost that line, but we have Suresh joining us from Chennai as well. Thank you for calling us here on Times Now. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. I had a similar fiasco. I was traveling from Chennai along with my daughters to Port Blair on 11th February. My seat number was 29B. And where I was sitting, the whole seat, the base was coming off in hand. And I showed them, I can just remove it. I showed them, this is the way the seat is there. They said, we will try to do something, nothing happened. And when I pushed back seat, then it will just slide. And just imagine how safe it is. What is the use of the belt, wearing the belt? So I made a complaint, I wrote a complaint and asked them to sign, and so far there is no response, absolutely nothing. So when it happens to Shivraj Singh Chouhan, it is just flash news. And when it happens to a common man, there is absolutely no step being taken on that. I don't know if they are taking any steps. But what I regret is I used to definitely support Air India when I was at the Indian carrier, and I continue to support. And the first thing I thought was, when it goes to Tata, they will put in some systems and processes. And but unfortunately, I don't know what's happening there. The system processes are not getting into place, and I don't know if it's because of the staff or because of the management. Probably something drastically has to happen. Otherwise, then they are carrying the name India in their logo. They
Yes.
need to do justice for that.
Absolutely, and you're very right when you say complaints by common people are not taken seriously. You've expressed with us, you've given us the details of your own experience as well, and that's the reason why we are even raising this issue today, because a minister raised the issue, and see how swiftly everybody is taking action. Everybody is promising we'll ensure this does not repeat. But what about the common man, the common passengers who travel almost on a daily basis, face similar kind of situations? Where do they go? And who will listen to their complaints? Will things change or not? We have, in fact, Asha joining us from Mumbai as well. Thank you for calling us here on Times Now. What is it that you will like to say?
I joined the Taj when GRD was the chairman. He was also chairman of Air India. What are you people doing in the government? How many airlines are left with India? Are you going to privatize everything and then leave it to them to handle? Is it a guarantee that it's a Tata name, so defense will be the best, airlines will be the best? Because your ministers themselves are selling off our assets. Look at you. How many airlines? Please tell me how many airlines are left with India. Why did you sell Air India so cheap? If the government itself is not capable of running the country and its assets, then it's time that you people give up. No, Minister. Ask Mr. Chauhan what happened to Vyapam. He can complain about other things. Ask him what happened in his state.
Okay.
What is happening in India?
We understand your emotions, Ms. Asha. Thank you for speaking with us here on Times Now. And viewers, it is a platform for us to also understand the kind of problems that passengers face on a regular basis, so that everything, can be brought to the attention of the ministry and action can be taken. Shweta is joining us live from Mumbai as well. Thank you for calling us. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was traveling from Mumbai to Singapore in the month of November. The aircraft was very dirty. The seats were not reclining properly. The food was horrible. Air conditioning was switched off, saying that it required more power. And it was total aircraft was dirty. Toilets were dirty. Is this a service we are paying for? People should think that the management should also think twice. In life, never I will go and travel by Air India again. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for bringing out this problem.
Thank you. Thank you, Shweta, for calling us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. We have Ali joining us from Pune as well. Thank you for speaking with us here on Times Now. Go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
That's great, yeah. So the thing is, now because Mr. Chauhan has had a problem, we are showing this on television. Your journalists are traveling across the country in buses, in trains, and in planes. Why you as a news media is not catching this information?
Sir, all such news items are carried here on Times Now. We continuously raise the issues, that impact the people of this country. And that's the reason why even today we have picked this up. And we are also asking the question that you're also concerned about today, that if something like this has happened with a minister, see how quickly action is being taken. But there are lakhs and crores of passengers who travel by air. But what happens to their complaints? What happens to the inconvenience that they face? Will the government take similar action as the government is promising in this case for the regular passengers or not? That is exactly the point that we are raising right here on Times Now. Appreciate you joining us here on Times Now, Ali, and talking to us. We have Shailendra joining us from Mumbai as well. Good evening. Thank you for calling us here on Times Now. Go ahead.
Good evening. I flew Air India from Dubai to Bombay in the month of January. First, I was made to stand in queue. I was flying business class. That's okay. And the seats were economy seats. And my co-passenger seat was so dirty, he was made to sit on that dirty seat. There was no leg space. This was the worst flight I've ever flown in. Horrible.
All right. Mr. Shailendra, thank you for calling us here on Times Now. We have Mukesh also calling us from Jamshedpur. Good evening. Thank you for calling us on Times Now. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. This is Mukesh calling from Jamshedpur.
Yes.
Something that has happened with the minister is really sad. And it reflects the condition where Air India is today. However, since it has happened with the minister, everybody is getting to know. Ordinary people are traveling every day and facing similar situations. Nobody gets to know. I hope the media takes care of it. But one thing very important that I wanted to say was, it's good that some ministers are getting to experience where they had left Air India. They are I would say the top class, which is the ministers and the bureaucrats, were only interested in getting upgrades and traveling the business class. Nobody really bothered about what was happening to Air India.
Okay.
And where Air India became totally unmanageable, they finally sold it. And they want things to happen overnight.
But it's been quite some time. While I completely agree with what you're saying, I understand what you're trying to say. But now it's been quite some time that Air India went back to the Tatas. And now, that's why the expectation is that perhaps things will begin to change. But interesting point of view. Thank you very much, Mr. Mukesh, for speaking with us here on Times Now.